Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TauGtProfit.com, and today we're talking about living life now, not just in the future. Today I'm in a business forum, and one of the people in there posted a picture of his Ford Mustang he bought, and he's probably in his 50s or 60s, an older guy, and talking about how it made him feel young. Now, here's one of the things that's interesting is this is almost a meme of sorts today. The older guy who is having his midlife crisis and he buys a sports car because he's trying to feel young again. But the reason that meme exists in the first place is because so many people have been following the traditional wisdom, which is not wisdom at all, it's error. And, you can't enjoy life now. You got to put it into savings, put it into 401k, things that benefit everybody else besides them. And you can enjoy that stuff when you get old, then you can buy some stuff. Meanwhile, those people are now settling for a car that is something maybe somebody in their 20s would have gotten. It's not a high-end car. It's not a supercar, an exotic sports car. It's a mediocre car that's a sports car of sorts. And I'm not criticizing that, but you don't want to put off your enjoyment of life for when you're old if you're young. Now, you may be old right now, and that's all right. But why not do something of value? These vain attempts to feel young again is because people have been doing traditional stuff, following what everybody else says to do, and it's made them run down, generally overweight, generally with all kinds of illnesses, taking all kinds of medications, and just following what everybody else is doing in life. And there's an old saying, and I don't remember the exact quote, so I'm just going to paraphrase it, but it's something to the effect of, if you see what everybody else is doing and you do the opposite, you will probably become a winner in life. Obviously, there's some things that everybody does, and that's fine, but a lot of the traditional quote-unquote wisdom, the traditions of men, as Jesus called them, they make the Word of God an effect in your life. They'll make your life one lacking abundance, one of putting off everything. And that's not to say that you don't have any sacrifices in life. There are times you have to sacrifice your finances, sacrifice your time in order to get some things accomplished. That's all right. But if you're in your 20s or 30s and you want a sports car, you don't have to go buy one. Just go rent one for the weekend. You don't have to invest $50, $60, $80,000 or whatever on a mediocre sports car you may not even like, but you just think that you want it, when you could just rent it. Enjoy it for that time period. Probably you'll get more enjoyment out of that little compressed use of that vehicle than you would after actually buying it and then getting kind of bored with it. And then having it being stuck with it for years. Because you haven't bought an asset, you've bought a liability. Something that's depreciating in value, instantly depreciates once you drive off the parking lot, once it's titled, and it's not going up in value. And then if you didn't pay for it in cash, you have all these financing fees, and the time invested in it, the money that you're investing in it that could be invested into a business that brings you back huge returns. It'd be better to be the person who in their 50s or 60s, instead of buying a Ford Mustang, is buying a Ford dealership. And you could drive any car you want from that dealership. That would be wise. And too many people are setting low goals. Oh, I'm going to save for years, for decades until I'm in my elderly age, and then I'm going to buy a sports car. When I'm sick and I'm no longer able to think because I haven't been living a life of achievement and accomplishment and fulfillment up to this point, and then they can't even really enjoy those things they've been putting off for decades. Matter of fact, they may not enjoy them anyway because they may get it and realize, I don't really like this. There used to be events for high net worth people that would let you test drive all kinds of cars, Ferraris and Mercedes and whatever, Land Rovers and all kinds of things, and even prototype type vehicles. And when they came around and you'd go to them and drive some of these cars were awesome. They were beautiful, and they were something I would think, I would want this. until I drove it. And I was like, I don't like this. If I had bought this vehicle, I would have been very mad at myself for making such a bad purchase. And so those events, for example, cut out a lot of vehicles that I thought were nice, that I thought I would want potentially someday. When I actually drove them, I realized that was not something I wanted. And so many people are doing that with their lives. They have goals for things that they're putting off years into the future, that when they finally get them, they're going to realize it's not even something they really wanted. And that's a tragedy. But you can live every day of your life, actually live it, being a success, being abundant, walking with God, knowing God, talking about God, experiencing God, and experiencing His infinite abundance. You don't have to put off things to the future. As I said, there may be times where you have to really dig down and get into your business and be diligent and reinvest your funds into your company to really have it grow. But that doesn't mean you can't experience some good things now. So instead of being like this person who is getting into their elderly years and trying to experience youth again, why not have every day be a refreshing of your youth? That doesn't even have to cost any money. It could be just going in a park and enjoying the experience of God's creation. It could be having a new success in your business. It could be creating that piece of art that you've always talked about doing, always thought about, but you never actually took any action on it. It could be writing that book that you've talked about for years, but you haven't written a single word. Or you've written a few words here and there, but you haven't been putting much effort into it, and it's never going to get done at this rate. My friend, you can enjoy and experience the fullness of life. Live a healthy life. Have a proper, honoring God diet of a vegan diet. Have a healthy lifestyle of exercise each day and movement and activity. Have a productive life where you're having accomplishments in your business and your work and your endeavors. Having a fruitful life where things are getting accomplished in your life and the world is a better place because you're here. Just living a fruitless life to save up a little bit of money here and there so you can experience some enjoyment later on in life is not the way to go. I understand that's what common traditions of men tell you to do. You got to save for retirement. I mean, you get out of high school and then they're telling you, well, you got to go to college and get a good education so you can have a good career. Even though many people have seen today that blows up in their face. And that's a disaster and generally doesn't actually lead to that. And then every step of the way, there's new things that are new obstacles that are put in your way to keep you from having a full life, from fully living and experiencing all that God has for you in this life. My friend, don't put off life to the future. Don't put off accomplishments to the future. Don't put off little tiny enjoyments for the future. Well, next month I'll enjoy that food. Next year I'll enjoy that beach I've been talking about going to. Just do it now. Enjoy it. Live. Have some fullness of life. Now, I'm not telling you to just play and have no work going on. You need to be diligent in your efforts. You need to be a person that no one could say that you're lazy. No one could look at your life and say, well, you're not doing enough. But you can do that and still be a person that enjoys life and is living life to the fullest and is truly grateful to God for each and every day they have. They're not putting off to the future to have a life that they can be grateful for. They're having it right now, and each and every day is only going to get better for them by the grace of God. My friend, that should be you, and I pray this video was a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.